no easy way to say this, so I've just got to say it, and you can all choose proper. I call on the armed forces of all nations to defend the people, to defend the women and children, to defend the gentle, the loving, the compassionate, the men and women of integrity and honour, including yourselves, because you've all been betrayed, deceived and set up for slaughter in all sorts of shenanigans, fake wars and fake battles that are nothing more than pre-planned slaughter manoeuvres, population relocations by force, by fear, land stealage, resource stealage, and above all, betrayal of all our eternities. So I'm going to speak the words that need to be spoken to tear down the strongholds that we've all been born into and betrayed by. So it's all about perception, perspective, and truth. If we empower these things with due diligence, it's impossible to lose your way ever again. I speak these words with absolute humility before you all, across the entire plane, in its absolute fullness. In its absolute fullness. To all of you, because we're creation, because we're kin, and because the way's been made for us all, every last one of us. So with all this fake science and fake perspective and confusion, I'll speak the words. And just when I stopped the vehicle a minute ago, I jotted down some notes of words that will point you all in the right direction in order to comprehend. And then I'm going to speak the words that the Holy Spirit of truth has shown me to speak, of what needs to be done to cut short the slaughter, to sort all this chaos out, to bring it to a swift end, and to remove all the wicked and the evil, so that the proper kingdom of the heavens can and will and is being established. Because it's all about connection, connectivity, because we're all disconnected from everything at the minute, including ourselves, our very soul. Time to sort that lot out. It's all about magnetism and electromagnetism, because it's everywhere. It's how the garden works. It's how the sun and moon work, how the heavens move, everything. It's about density, buoyancy, frequency, resonance, vibration, energy, motion, mass, temperature, friction, flow, resistance, sequence, structure, design, because we are creation. Look for the design in everything and you'll find it. It's awesome. Stops the silly thinking, stops the confusion. Sound, light, colour and balance. It's about harmony, and we're all completely out of sync. Completely. Borderline gimbal lock, a state of flux, because of Rome and the occult. Those that scoff and think the journey of life is some kind of game, something to be scoffed at, taken advantage of. It's proper not. It's really not. Because we're all getting ill in the physical for a reason, and it's easy to sort out. You just have to be aware and know what to do. So this is that season that we become aware and action what needs to be done. because integrity and honour more than prevails in its absolute fullness. Because it's time to comprehend. Because there's a lot of anger, a lot of rage, a lot of confusion, a lot of indoctrination, a lot of manipulation that's going on against all armies of all nations, all peoples of all nations. This isn't a recent thing, this has been going on for thousands of years, and it's time to wake up now. Time to choose whether you have integrity and honour, whether the truth stirs you to integrity and honour or not. But it'll reveal and show all of you your true self, your true awareness, your true comprehension of things. Because we're all so and disinformed. It's outrageous. So I call all to integrity and honour, to humility with wisdom, to self-control, to manage yourself, and be a radiator in the garden and not a drain. Because the truth needs to come, and indeed it does. They want it all to crash and everybody to burn. Well, I'd rather land it proper, safely. Then the truth can be poured out, and you can all choose then whether you want to throw away eternity or whether you want to humble yourselves to the truth, to creation, to proper comprehension. Because when you do, when you comprehend, you'll know of what I speak. You'll know this place. I stand that all know it, so all comprehend, because we can. Because it's time. Time to choose. Because everything that we've ever been taught, it's all incorrect. But we're all so distracted. We're all grinding, all dealing with too much distraction, too much heartache, too much confusion to spot it. That's the magnitude of what Rome's done to everyone. So I'll show you what the Holy Spirit showed me when I cried out to comprehend what's going on. Which way's up? What's real? What's shenanigans? What's treachery? What's going on? Part of its modern history, part of its old world. It's all linked. It's all the same. But it's time for everybody to choose now. So the way to land all this safely, with wisdom, with respect, with truth, with self-control, and with integrity and honour. These things have to happen, and indeed will. So I call on the armed forces of every nation. Don't be fools of Rome, nor the occult that laugh at you all, setting you all up for public sacrifice. That's all it is. That's all war is. Satanic sacrifice of those of integrity and honour, those of love, those of respect, those of reason, that are not of treason, because those that are of treason, they don't get sent into the mix, because they're cowards. Everything's going to change now, in a good way, but we all have to remain calm, to comprehend family, to comprehend eternity, to embrace it and empower it, to be still in the eye of the storm, where integrity and honour reigns. So does our Father YAH. But the problems are not just in spirit, they're in the physical, they're in the system in which we're all stuck to. So we have to stop the system, and rather than crash it and have outrage like they've planned, because they've built this system to be crashed, to leave everybody dangling in the deepest of outrageousness, beyond words. And we are where we are, and it is what it is. We can't be in denial of the truth of reality, so we have to lay hold of it without dysfunction, without dishonour, with discernment, with truth, with all the good fruits of the Spirit that's within us all, by creation, by design, because it's there, right now, within us all, within our choice. We just have to overcome the character of the self, overcome the programming with our choice, with our will, overcome the indoctrination with the truth, and stand up and don't drown in water waist deep, because that's what we're all doing right now, running around this way and that way, declaring this and that without stopping and reflecting and taking it to our Father Creator, what His will is, what His opinion is, because He knows what He's doing more than all of us do. And we all need to choose in the fullness of our choice. So I'm going to call for the things that the Holy Spirit's put within me to call. Actions that need to take place, and indeed will, because of integrity and honour. Then I'll communicate why. But I have to communicate the actions first, and I say this with humility, so that it's landed safely, not with disaster, so that the slaughter's cut short, and it doesn't go how they want it to, because it's not. So we have to freeze all the stock markets, and I call on the armed forces to make this happen. It's all treachery, it's all skullduggery, it's all treason. No one's losing out, because we can. Seize all the central banks, because they're private, and it's more shenanigans, more treachery, more treason, because all debts will be cancelled. It's all fraud, everything, the whole system. Debt, it's a slave manoeuvre by those that chose to throw away family and decided to consider themselves royal and above the laws of the heavens. And they're not. None of us are. Because we can. We're man and we're woman. We're mankind. We're creation. And all this egotistical outrageousness of strutting around of this and that and the other, it's all stopping now. One way or the other. I pray, with all that I am, that we all choose to humble ourselves to the truth, with wisdom. Not as a doormat, nor as a slave, but as kin, because that's the truth of who we are. Above all, it's time to bind all that's of the Vatican. All means all the way up to the top. It's all treachery. It's got nothing to do with the heavens, and everything to do with separation. Because it's the Vatican, and all that move in the circles of the Vatican that own everything. All the corporations, all the banks, everything. It's in different names, but all roads lead to Rome. I stand that all nations are restored to the truth, to the real healing. There is no disaster, there is no financial catastrophe. It's all fake. All news is faked and staged events. Totally staged. All of it. Nothing but propaganda to have us all spun round in the character of the self, running this way and that way and all over the place. Anywhere but standing still and standing up in water waist deep. And I call you all to this place, because all religions are run by Rome. And I know it sucks epically, but it is what it is. We're born into all this, and I call you all out of it right now, in your choice, to be stirred in the truth, with integrity and honour, with humility, with self-control eternal. To be rooted in the truth, to stand up, because we can. Call for all forms of leadership to be bound, because these positions have all been infiltrated and corrupted, or created in the first place as another control mechanism. And all that's stopping because it's about self-control, not being bound up in impossible realities that no one can function in, apart from those that are not operating out of those realities because they made them. No more. I call the people not to be feral, not to be wild, but to be still for the first time, and know that your creation, know that we can comprehend the scale of everything, both in the treachery that we're born into because of Rome, Babylon and the occult and all the other stuff that they're part of, that's called separation, anything but reality. Because as soon as you see reality, as soon as you know it, you come out of it all straight away. And as much as it sucks, the realization of what we've all been born into, it also shows the awesomeness of reality in the temporary, in the eternal, in the fullness of things, of the garden plane that they're hiding from us all, telling us we live on a stupid spinning ball. It's not like that at all. Time to awaken now. That's why I call the armed forces. Don't fight their wars, just fight them. Just bind them, because we can. Above everything. Don't be fools, empower wisdom, because this time round it's the darkness that will be bound. In more than body, no games. We are creation, and judgment is upon the earth. The hour draws near, it's upon us all, and I call you all to come out of it all. Not to be fools, not to be slaves, to be sons and daughters, to comprehend the magnitude of creation, the history of mankind, the history of the garden, all of it is awesome. You'll awaken far more focusing on these truths, these principles, not even getting up off your seat, more than you've ever done your whole days, thus far. That's why I call all. We are creation, and we are kin. Now re-look at everything. Be real. Don't fake, though it's frightening and overwhelming at times. Empower the love that's within us all. It's not fickle, it's not feral, it's not dysfunctional. It's beyond the physical, because it's the fullness of our choice. With wisdom, with comprehension. Because no matter what tribe or clan or nation you're born into, we're all indoctrinated. It's been going on for a long time. The betrayal goes back to our ancestors. That we're not monkeys. Evolution's fake. It's mockery of the love within us all. It's been stolen and distracted from us. No more. Because it is time for every last one of us, everyone, to choose. But we've all been set up to choose stupid. No more. So I call the feral, be feral no more. To humble yourself, and like everybody else, realise what we've been born into. Realise that we're all the way we are because of the environment that's lacking our Father YAH. Because we're all indoctrinated, no matter where we're from. It's all confusion, designed by Rome, to keep us all distracted and confused, or feral, or strutting around, or whatever. But it's within us all to wake up, without even getting up off your chair. You've just got to learn again to properly care, to comprehend that yes they would, because yes they have, because here we are. But comprehend that we do have a Creator. It's got nothing to do with Rome, nor Mecca, nor Satan, nor the occult, none of it. That's a proper lack of true connection to the truth, to all creation, and to the kingdom of the heavens. Because it's within us all to properly do it. You've got no chance in religion. Because it's all a way off in the distance thing, just out of reach. Don't even have to move for the fullness of all that the kingdom of the heavens has ever been, currently is, and will ever be. To be filled within us, in our comprehension, and in the full heaviness of our Father Creator's presence. Right now. Everyone. But as long as you're plugged into a piece of wood, carved to deceive us all by Rome and the occult, got no chance. And I just call you all, take your plug out of all that, take your choice out, your connection, your will, and plug it straight up. Plug it straight back into your own heart, into your own choice, and seek our Father YAH properly in the principles that I've communicated, and you'll know the difference. They're not my words. I surrendered my words, my will and my choice a long time ago to the real throne of the heavens, so I could heal, I could learn, and could comprehend clearly, without being a fool, without faking, without having to live a lie, because I refuse to do that. The road it's not been easy, not at all, but it's a road worth travailing. It's part of standing up in water waist deep. When you realise it's that simple to set your very sovereign soul free from confusion, from condemnation, from judgment, from separation eternal, to comprehend within. You just got to stop listening to the satanic who currently lead, who won't be leading shortly. And I say this with humility, but it is the truth, and I'm not joking. I'm not. It distresses my spirit properly to the core of all that I am. The thought of even one being lost to separation and having what our Father Creator's holding within his heart levelled onto them for always, let alone everybody. Our Father doesn't want it. He wants us all restored to the truth, to each other, and to him in the fullness of everything. So we have to increase our head knowledge on the treachery of things that's gone on and going on, because there's a lot of blame going around. So start sharing what I've been shown, what years of due diligent research have confirmed. Because there's a lot of nations being blamed for a lot of stuff that's not their blame. It's not their bag. It's not their millstone. It's not their judgment. And they're only getting blamed because of all the fake history that we're all born into, because of the propaganda machine that's got everyone into a state of flux, a state of borderline gimbal lock. So I'll do what I can to unpick it as I stand there on my own, with my Father, with the kingdom of the heavens, and with the true bride. Because everyone's on a hate the USA buzz at the minute. I've got a lot of justification. Yeah, I've grieved myself, but I stand to defend all nations, especially those that are getting the blame for everything right now, when it's not their blame. They're the victim. We all are. And we need to get our heads around this, because this is the right real. Because it's not America that's been going around destroying everything, causing all these wars. They've just been deceived. America's one of the biggest victims of all in modern history. By purpose, by design, by choice, by will. The people are indoctrinated just like everybody else is. That's why they're in the deepest of trouble at the minute, because they're being betrayed the most. And everybody's egging it on and behind it because of the false narratives of blame, of truth, of unreality that we've all been deceived by. Because space isn't real. It's water up there. It's all going to be proved in this season, then there'll be no doubt, and you can all stop being silly. Stop being indoctrinated. You all have to comprehend about the world wars, so-called. Because it wasn't Germany, it was to blame. It wasn't the German people, nor the German armed forces. It wasn't the Russian people or armed forces, the British, European, none of us. We've all been deceived and betrayed. Simple as that. You just got to get your head around the facts that this is the reality of the reality. That's why the way through is easy. You don't even have to get up off your seat. Why the healing's real, because the brokenness is. Because until we comprehend, all this Nazi stuff is wrong. Until you comprehend the symbology and the intent and the heart. Just going around in circles properly. Well, all that's stopping now. Because it's Rome that caused all this. It's the occult. They're seeking to steal the garden for itself. That are harming everybody, poisoning everybody, hurting everybody, causing all these wars and these distresses everywhere. It's time for us all to stop being stupefied, stop being silly, humble our opinions, because it's our indoctrination, and seek reality. And stop being fickle. Because this has been going on for thousands of years, and it's time to comprehend. All these empires throughout the ages, it's all wrong. It's all the occult. It's all Babylon. Same stuff. The only difference is it's different nations, different so-called leaders that get the blame. They're all part of the same game. They're all actors. It's time to wake up and be real. It really is. With the Incas and everything, the Spanish got the blame. Spanish Empire, conquistadors, oh. It's not like that at all. It's Catholics, the Jesuits, all of it, same crap. Same spirit of intent. Same ego, unchecked by the self. Same lack of our Father Creator, His ways. It's always the same way. But this is the final judgment this time round, because the garden will be fully restored. The real kingdom of the heavens above the waters will be established, so that there'll be no more separation, no more darkness, none of it. It's not happening, no more. So we have to seize the control of the water, of the food, because it's all being messed with right now. You need to distill your water. It's the only way of sorting it out. Do it calmly. And we'll sort it out over the next months. Because we're family. We'll do it without chaos. We'll do it without silliness. Because we're family. We'll stabilise that. Every household has 3 months' food. You grow your own food. It's not difficult. Same with fuel and everything else. It's all fake. All cars and vehicles can run on water, and they will, because we'll make it so, because we're family. Same with houses. There's no energy crisis. Stop thinking like that. There's no financial crisis. Stop thinking like that. Stop it, because we're family. The journey of the gift of life isn't about making money. It's about the journey of the gift of life. It's about our Father Creator. It's about individually connecting with Him. Stop playing games. Stop running around this way and that way, to-ing and fro-ing, wrestling with each other. In opinions that are not our own. They're just indoctrinations and wrong. Everyone. That's why they laugh. They won't be laughing now. Not in this season. No more. We need to take control of the tabloid press and the media, so some truth finally can be poured out, so you can all stop being deceived and outrageously indoctrinated and betrayed. Then you can all choose properly. And we'll stabilise everything, then everyone can choose in the fullness of the real truth. It's how we stop this. It's how we get real before the real throne of the real heavens, above the real waters, in real time, as we all are within every heartbeat, within every moment. That's why I say walk with our Father YAH. Don't keep opening up prayer and closing it, opening up prayer and close it. Just walk with Him and never close. As soon as we do, we're distracted. Totally. Start the day with Him, end the day with Him. It's with us when we're asleep. It's with us when we're awake. It never stops. In everything. And you'll know the difference. To learn His ways. To know His heart. To know His whisper. To know His truth. To comprehend. Stop being silly and stop being distracted. Because there's too much at stake. The garden's awesome. Staggering. Sitting everybody down. Absolutely. Proper. That's nothing compared to the real throne of the real heavens that you're all about to comprehend. Proper. You'll know. So I call all to comprehend what Rome's done and what Rome's doing. The position everybody's in. So I call all armed forces. Stand still. Realise. Zoom out. Refocus. Defend the women and children. Defend the people. It's your job. If you want to just make it about a job. But I call for you all to make it a bit more than that. Because we can. And treachery's afoot. And I call you all not to be fools. Because all wars are staged. There's an agenda behind it all. And the people in the armed forces, or as always, get propagandized, deceived, and led down the slaughterhouse while they go round collecting all the gold and everything else and stealing land and resources for themselves. No more. So I call all to be calm. Because we can. So I call all to realise the fullness of things before you all go around blaming this, that and the other. Not all Catholics are child sacrificers. They're not. Most of them are just normal men and women trying to comprehend, making the way through, thinking that Catholicism's about Christ, when it's not. It's a Roman Empire masquerading round as Christianity. Because they don't teach us about Christ Centre. Same in modern day Christianity. It's run by the Masons. Does that mean all Masons are bad? No, not at all. Most of them are alright. They're just men and women thinking they're connected and to something powerful, and they actually get to obtain carrot, and they're all busy and distracted eating carrot. That's a crime, if any. But most eat the carrot because of the way we're all indoctrinated. That's why I call all don't turn against all Masons, because they're not all bad, they're alright. Most of them don't even get to know about the reality of the leadership of the Masons. Just sucks beyond words. So I call all, if you're joining something you have to work your way up in tiers. It's not good. Seems it at the bottom. By the time you get your way up you realise you're totally in the sewer, totally in total compromise, as they all do. Same with Muslims. They're not all psychopaths running around chopping heads off. Not at all. I've been around the world enough to know. Got a broad scope on these things. I'm not a fool. But all have been deceived by Rome. Just like the Catholics, just like the Masons, just like modern day Christianity. Just like the atheists that think they live on a ball and it's all a cosmic accident. And it's not. We're all being played by Rome. It's time for everybody to wake up and comprehend the magnitude of everything. Because eternity's at stake. The whole garden's in jeopardy. And that's why it's getting stopped. Because everything will be restored. Including part of that's the ground on which we stand. Because it wasn't all bad. It was destroyed by bad. And it'll be restored by good. Everything will. All of it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, time to wake up. Proper. Because the Vatican's behind all these wars. The occult. The only reason there's a thing called the UN and the EU and all this IMF and all the stuff, Federal Reserve and everything, it's just a stealage manoeuvre of Rome and the occult. They betrayed every nation, every tribe, every clan, every family, every armed forces of every nation, all of it. The only reason the UN and the EU are a reality is because of the First and Second World War, and the revolutions just leading up to that. The only reasons that they exist is because of the wars, and the wars happened so that the UN and the EU could be a reality, so they could steal and enslave everyone. But all roads might look like they go to Brussels, but they don't. They all go to Rome. All of it. That's why the UN as a reality is finished. And I call all nations and all peoples and all armed forces of every nation to defend the people accordingly. Because it's not a good thing. It's the reason of all the wars, which were nothing more than staged events. The slaughters was real. The land stealage was real. The distress was real. The resources that were stolen was real. The antiquities and the history that was stolen and hidden is real. The indoctrination and enslavement that's happened since then is real. So no, there's no time to be fickle or silly. No, without self-control. It's just time to stop all this, to comprehend that we are creation, stop all this silly spaceman stuff, stop the hysteria, and be still. Stand up in water that is only waist deep. The ground is good. It's our Father Creator's word, and it's there. Just stand up, and you'll see, and you'll know. You'll perceive properly. You'll comprehend. And all the confusion, all the gimbal lock will stop. That's why I speak to the armed forces and the people of every nation, because every nation is run by Rome, and all this distress and confusion and fighting and all this and that and the other is just propaganda. We're all being played like a game of chess. I just wipe that board and stop it, and I call you all to do the same in your comprehension and in your choice, and don't play Rome's game, because Rome goes round taking over countries, trashing the country, and going to the next country and blaming that last country for all sorts of chaos that they caused when they run that. America was the last one. China's the current one. Germany was the one before that. Several dips at Germany. They're having another one now. So I call my German brothers and sisters. It's not your guilt. It's not your shame. It's Rome's. And you need to start waking up now and healing proper, and realising that's why you're being flooded. Because they know that you're all going to wake up. It's time to defend your country once and for all, and it's the same for every nation. So I call my Muslim brothers and sisters that are running amok at the minute. You've all been set up. You all need to wake up like everybody else and stop it. So I stand to cut short the slaughter. My weapon's a sword of truth, and it cuts through all things. It doesn't play games, and it loves all, because we can. I call all not to be fools, to see what Rome's done to everyone, to comprehend that we're creation. The sun and the moon are just there in the sky as you see them. Trust your first sense, trust your senses. Stop listening to the indoctrination, let it go, start again, and enjoy waking up, enjoy comprehending, standing in water waist deep as we walk to proper dry land. Because we're family, we walk together, we don't leave each other dangling. Don't work that way. That's their way. They depend on everyone losing the plot and just running around dishonouring each other, and I just say, don't do that. We're family, all of us. Don't throw away all the awesome eternal for the fickle of our indoctrination. Come out of it all and know the difference. For a call for all leadership to be bound. Most of them want out, but they're stuck to the snowball and they can't stop it. They can't. But we can. But there's no point stopping it if all we're going to replace it with is chaos and outrageousness. It's not happening. Integrity and honour with self-control. Humility with wisdom to comprehend. Everyone's got to empower these principles, or you won't make it. So anything other than these principles leads to the disaster we're in now. That doesn't need to be happening, but it is because we've all been born into an agenda of Rome. Rather than humble themselves to the truth and empower the real blood and the real healing, the real integrity and honour unto all, they just rather play a game of chess with every nation and seek to slaughter everyone so they can sit back in their opulence and their outrageousness. Or they play the blood games. Well, I just call you all out of all that. In the fullness of the love that's within us all, by our Father's very creation, by His very design, because we house the Holy Spirit of truth, the principles of our Father YAH, His way, His heart, connected to Him directly, individually, unreligious, unbound, because we're free the minute we're born, the moment we're born, but we're entangled into outrageousness of Rome and Mecca and the occult, which is all the same, and I know it sucks, but it is what it is. Stop believing the propaganda and stand up. Put your feet on proper ground that won't give way, that's absolutely solid. And stop drowning. Stop perceiving incorrectly. Stop listening to those who currently lead that won't be shortly. And open your hearts to the truth. And you'll know the difference. Because the healing's real. But it is time to choose which side you're on. Whether you empower the love and the healing, or whether you don't. I pray that you all do. Because we can. But enough's enough now. Enough's enough. Because everything's linked to Rome. Everything. And it's time for everyone to be set free. Not just those who don't know what I'm talking about and are just starting to wake up and realise, but everybody that knows absolutely what I'm talking about. It's born into the same snowball that want their integrity and honour back, want to live within the truth of reality, and don't want to throw away their eternity. But we all have to be wise unto the truth, to forgiveness, to integrity and honour, so that the way for all to come out of it all can be made. Because it's been made, and it's time to come out of it all and not be part of the fall, nor the wrath that follows the anointing and the call which is upon us all. Seek our Father YAH's face in all these things, in all things. But it's time to choose. There's a lot more to be said, properly, so that we can all heal unto the reality of the journey of the gift of life upon and within the garden plane. Because it's time. Time to choose. I pray you all choose well. Because we are kin. We are creation. And everything else other than that is of Rome and of the occult and of Mecca, which is all of Rome. All of which will be no more shortly, as you're all about to see. Come out of it all is the fullness of my call. Because we kin. And because we can. Bless you all.